Summary. Act 1. The Seeds of Evil. The play starts by laying out the problem that will drive everything. Iago hates Othello because Othello passed him over for a promotion. Iago wants revenge, and it starts right away. Iago and Roderigo show up at Brabantio's house to tell him that Othello's sleeping with his daughter. Brabantio challenges Othello to explain himself, but Cassio lets him know the dukes called a meeting about the war, so Brabantio goes there too. Brabantio says that Othello must have used magic, but Othello explains that his war stories were enough to win Desdemona's heart. The Duke ends up praising Othello and sending him to Cyprus to fight the Turkish fleet sailing there. Act 2. Space for Evil to Grow. The act opens in Venice. The Turkish fleet is destroyed by a massive storm, which is great for Venice, but terrible for Othello because now Iago has time to work his plans. He starts with an odd one. He tells Roderigo that Desdemona is in love with Cassio. He convinces Roderigo that they have to get Cassio out of the way and then Desdemona will love him. Later, Iago gets Cassio drunk and arranges for Roderigo to start a fight. Cassio ends up fired. Act 3. Evil Grows. Now things really start to turn twisted. Cassio and Desdemona are friends, so she says she'll get Othello to rehire him. At the same time, though, Iago tells Othello that he thinks Desdemona is attracted to Cassio. Othello puts Iago to work watching Desdemona for signs of lust. At dinner, Desdemona drops a handkerchief that had been a gift from Othello, and Iago gets a hold of it. He tells Othello he saw Cassio using it. Act 4. Othello loses it. Iago paints such a nasty picture of Cassio and Desdemona together that Othello falls into a trance and just stands there twitching. Iago then tells Othello he'll get more proof and has Othello watch while he talks to Cassio, who eventually tells some passionate stories, but about Bianca, a local prostitute Cassio's been seeing. Othello, though, thinks he's talking about Desdemona. A letter from the Duke comes, calling Othello home and putting Cassio in his place. Othello quizzes Emilia, who is Iago's wife, to see if she's seen anything, but by this time even her statements that Desdemona is pure fall on deaf, or at least mad ears. The act ends with Othello calling Desdemona to get ready for bed. She knows something is wrong, but she comes anyway. Act 5. Blood, Death, and Guilt. Iago gets Roderigo to attack Cassio. He does, but Cassio stabs him, so Iago stabs Cassio. Othello thinks Iago is doing this for him, a best friend acting in his interests, a friend so loyal that he'll kill the guy sleeping with his wife. Iago then secretly finishes off Roderigo, tying up loose ends. Othello accuses Desdemona of sleeping with Cassio. She denies it. He then asks for the handkerchief. She says she lost it. Othello says that Cassio has it, and he's dead. Desdemona cries for her friend, and Othello takes this as guilt. He smothers her. The authorities arrest Othello, but he's got a hidden weapon, and he stabs himself. As for Iago, he's arrested too, but he's alive, and everyone who crossed him, angered him, trusted him, or loved him is dead.